Hello students, welcome to yet another class of accountancy ISC class 12, chapter number 9, financial statements of companies. In the last lecture we started the topic and we discussed what are financial statement. I also told you about the company's balance sheet and we discussed all the heads and subheads. Now this is the format which we discussed. Now we'll study in detail each and every topic in this class. Share capital, how to present share capital, how to present reserves and surplus and all the items in the balance sheet. Okay, we are going to discuss in this chapter, so you pay attention carefully. Now share capital I'll show you in the notes to account how it is shown later. Now I'll show how reserves and surplus is treated. So what are reserves and surplus? So all free and non-free reserves will be treated here. So what are reserves? Like capital reserve, capital redemption reserve, security premium reserve, debenture redemption reserve, revaluation reserve. There's so many reserves. You have generally studied the free reserve, that is general reserve, isn't it? Then you have studied about statement of profit and loss account. Is this clear? And if there is any negative balance, then it will be shown as in bracket. Okay, if statement of profit and loss account, if loss is there, will show in the reserves and surplus, and the item will be shown using the bracket like this. Okay, I'll for an example, reserve and surplus are having a negative balance 50,000, so it will be shown like this. Okay, is this point clear to you? Now we'll discuss about long term borrowings, non current liability. This is head, this is head, and this is subhead. Long term borrowings is subhead. Okay, so in this subheading, what are the items will be treated? See, like bonds, debentures, long term loans from bank or from third party, deposit such as fixed deposits, public deposit, etc. will be treated here. That means all the items when will be given, will add it and write the total here. Is this clear? In this column for the current year. See students, see like long term borrowings, here it is. What are the items of long term borrowings? Debenture, bonds, premium, redemption of debentures, loan from bank, loan from other parties, public deposits. Okay, so this is the explanation to that point. So all these will add up together and write it here in this column. You can see in your book, textbook, open and see. Okay, then I told you the next one, other current liabilities. So what other current liabilities are? Like trade payable on account of purchase of fixed assets, okay, or any interest accrued. Is this point clear? Which is payable? Again we'll show it to you. See, here's the explanation, and these things will be shown in notes to account. Okay, so long term provision, other long term liabilities are not given to here explanation, but I just told you. Then long term provisions, what are they? Provision for employees benefit, provision for provident fund, provisions for warranties. Okay, so these are the items covered under long term provisions. Then the next heading is current liabilities. Okay, so it is easy to remember there are how many heads in equity and liability side? Four heads are there, isn't it? which is the first head, shareholder fund. Okay, so what are the subheads in shareholders fund? There are three subheads. What are those? Share cap, share capital. Then B part is reserves and surplus, and C part is money received against share warrants. Now, students, I have discussed only limited number of subheads. Why? Because only those are going to ask. I have shown in the previous video. Okay, so make sure. So in shareholder funds, what are important thing? Share capital, A part, and B part, reserves and surplus. Is this point clear? Then the second head is share application, money pending allotment, that is not required. Then the third head is non current liabilities. Okay, in that four subheads are there, and only two are asked, that is long term borrowings and long term provisions. But what are in actual four subheads? First one is long term borrowings, second one is deferred tax liabilities, then other long term liabilities and long term provisions. Okay, but as you can see, only long term borrowings and long term provisions are shown, because this is not asked, though I will explain you when required. Then current liabilities, there are how many subheads in current liabilities? Yes, correct, four, and all the four is to be studied nicely. So what is the first one? First one is short term borrowings. So what are the items covered under short term borrowings? Bank overdraft, cash credit. Is this clear? Then for trade payables, sundry, as I told you, sundry creditor plus bills payable will be termed as trade payables. Okay, then other current liabilities, what are the items covered? Current maturities of long term debts. See, my dear students, like debentures are to be redeemed in 10 years. Okay, now up to 9 year they will be long term borrowings, and in the 10th year it will become, in the year of its redemption, it will become current maturity of long term debts. I hope with the help of example you are able to understand what does this current maturity of long term debts mean. See, when you take long term debts, it is long term, and in the final year of its repayment it becomes current maturity, isn't it? Then interest accrued but not due on borrowings, the interest which is payable. Okay, as you know, once we take debentures, the interest on it becomes accrued, like interest is to be paid in 6 months, isn't it? So in September it is to be paid, but April, May, June, July, August, okay, so in these months it is accrued, but it is not due to pay, isn't it? It is to be due on 30 September, isn't it? Then the next point is interest accrued and due on borrowings, that you know, when the interest is accrued and due also, that means due date has been passed, that is termed as interest accrued and due on borrowings. Then income received in advance, any advance income will be treated as other current liabilities. Unpaid dividends, unclaimed dividends, the dividends which is to be paid by the company but not paid, that are unpaid dividends. Then outstanding expenses, you know, the expenses which is to be paid but not paid by the company. Then calls in advance and interest thereon, all are the items of other current liabilities. Then provident fund payable, as I told you, provident fund is a long term liability, we have studied, it's a long term provision, isn't it? We have just studied. See here, but when it becomes payable, that means, as I told you, what is PF? First of all, if you don't know what is PF, see, when the employee work for the company, a certain amount is deposited into a PF account by the employer, and when the employees move out of the company, that amount is payable. Okay, employer's amount. Okay, Is this clear? See, this amount of PF is being given by employer and it is deducted from the salary of the employee as well. So the amount which is payable by the company or the employer, when it becomes payable in the year in which it becomes payable, that will be other current liability. Because what is the definition of current liability? It is to be paid within 12 months or within the operating cycle. Is this clear? Now short term provisions like provision for tax, provision for doubtful debts, these are covered under short term provisions. Okay, so this was the explanation to which side? Yes, equity and liability side. Now we'll have the explanation of the asset side. Yes or no? So there are two sides and the format is horizontal or vertical. Yes, it's vertical, not horizontal. Horizontal is followed in partnership account, not in company's account. Okay. Now current assets. Sorry, assets. Then we have two subheads. What are that? NCA, non-current asset, and current assets. So these are the head. Then we have subheads. First one is fixed asset under non-current assets, fixed assets. See, you have to remember what are the heads and what are the subheads. So in fixed assets, first comes tangible. Tangible, you know, which can be seen and touched, isn't it? Like land, building, plant, furniture and fixtures, livestock. If company are having animals like buffaloes, they are having, okay, as an assets. So that is livestock. Computers, vehicles, office equipments, these are tangible assets which can be seen or touched. Then after that comes intangible assets, the assets which cannot be seen or touched. Goodwill, patents, copyright, trademark, okay, computer software, these all are covered under intangible assets. Then capital work in progress, you know, I have explained this point. The capital work in progress and intangible assets under development in my previous lecture, so you listen that lecture carefully. Okay, and these two points are not that much important, but still you have to remember, okay, where it will be treated in the balance sheet. Then non-current investment comes, the investment which are usually hold by the company. Is this clear? For more than 1 year. What are those? Invest anywhere investment which is for more than 1 year. Okay, now my dear student, if only investment is given in the question, we will treat it as non-current investment. So all the investment will be treated as long-term investment until and unless mentioned in the question. If it is mentioned in the question current investment, the word current investment is made, or the period is mentioned and which is less than 12 months, okay, then only we will take it as current investment, because they are one more subhead na, current investment in current assets. So we have to take care of this. Okay, my dear students. So investment in equity shares, preference shares of others, okay, or even of ours which has been hold, okay, investment in own debentures. So these investment will be under fixed assets. Then deferred tax assets and long term loans and advances. So long term loans and advances which the company has given, okay, such as security deposit with electricity company. Now current assets. What are current assets? See students, you if you are well aware of what are fixed assets, what are current assets, under which head which item will be treated, then it is going to be very beneficial for you, because chapter number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 all are linked. Okay, it will be easier for you to understand. So what are the 6 subheads of current assets? First one is current investment. Okay, short term investment. Is this clear? Which is hold for resale purpose by the company. Then inventories. Inventories, what are the things? Raw material, work in progress, finished goods, stock in trade. That means the goods which is in trade. Is this clear? Then loose tools. See, the word loose tools will also covered under inventories. Goods in transits. Okay, these all are termed as inventories. Finished goods, you know na, stock. So stock of each and every item, whether stock of finished goods, stock of work in progress, or raw material. So all the stocks will be treated under inventories. Is this clear? Then trade receivable. These are debtors plus bills receivable. Then cash and bank balance, you know, amount of cash, amount of bank, then check in hand. Okay. Then short term loans and advances. The short term loans and advances which are given by the company to the third party or someone else. Okay. Then we have other current assets. Okay, so this is first heading, subheading, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You remember it as it is. Okay, I'll just show you the balance sheet format once again after the explanation to this. Okay, then what is other current assets? Prepaid expense, dividend receivable, accrued income, in advance tax. These are covered under other current assets. Okay, then contingent liabilities and commitment, they are shown as footnote outside the balance sheet in notes to account. Okay, these are to be mentioned. Is this clear? So what are these contingent liabilities? Contingent liabilities are the liabilities which depends on the happening of a certain event. Is this clear? They are not fixed or not sure, but it will become a liability only after the happening of a certain event. Is this clear? For an example, lawsuit against the company. A person has filed a lawsuit. Okay, now when it will become the liability of the company when that person wins the case, isn't it? So why it is contingent liability? It depends on the happening of an event. And what is the happening of the event? That whether the case filed by the person is correct and he wins the case, then only. Okay, so contingent liabilities are given to you. Claim against the company, as I told you, claim against the company not acknowledged as debt. Someone has claimed, but it is not a debt. Okay, bills discounted but not matured. Yes or no? Why? Because if the bills are discounted earlier, it is discounted, and on the due date it may or may not be receivable. The person doesn't pay, then it becomes the liability na. Then proposed dividend for current year and guaranteed given by the company. These are covered under contingent liabilities. And then commitment given by the company. Is this clear? So like contract remaining to be executed, as big companies given a commitment that we will finish the work on such and such a date, otherwise you can put or you can claim a certain amount, isn't it? So good companies used to do like this, or well reputed company, for them time is a important tool. For that purpose they give commitment, or commitment of the quality of the good, or completion of a work at a particular period of time. Okay, then uncalled liabilities on partly paid shares and arrears of dividend on cumulative preference shares. these are covered. So this contingent liability is not shown in the balance sheet, it is shown as footnote outside the balance sheet. Okay, but what are the items? And question have been asked for 2 marks, what do you mean by contingent liability, and give example. For theoretical purpose this question is important. Is this point clear to you? So this was the explanation of all the heads and subheads. Only one head is remaining, that is the first one, that is share capital, which I'll tell you in the next lecture. Okay, see, again I'll show you the format of the balance sheet. Here it is, see. So this I have not mentioned, this explained. Okay, this not required, this is also not required, this I have explained, not required, not required, this again I have explained, this one, this one. You can see it is mentioned in your book. So what is trade payables? Yes or no? Bills payable plus creditors, sundry creditors, other current liabilities. What are those? Current maturity of long-term debts. Yes or no? Advances, correct. Short-term provision, provision for tax, isn't it? Provision for, yes, next one, provision for, yes, correct, doubtful debts. Then fixed, non-current assets, fixed assets, which we have tangible, intangible, capital, work in progress, intangible. So this explanation will be if there are two items like land and building. Okay, see, like land and building are there, land and building are there, and that is costing 5 lakh. Okay, and then machinery, that is of 2 lakh. So total is 7 lakh na, if we will take only these two. So 7 lakh will be written in this manner here. Tangible assets, here it will be written 7 lakh. And this, the what this 7 lakh represent, we don't know now, we just know tangible asset. Then this explanation will be given after the completion of the balance sheet in notes to account. Okay, so this is the presentation. Is this clear? In horizontal format, what you used to write land and building and then machinery, and in front of the items you used to write the money. Now here all the intangible assets total will be written here, and this explanation will be given in notes to account. So you see the format properly in your textbook. Is this clear? It is given clearly in your book. I am just explaining those points, and this chapter is related to presentation only. And if you are wrong in your presentation, that means the entire mark will be deducted. So you have to be strict with the format and follow my guidance properly. Okay, in any other chapter ups downs can be neglected, but here the heading and subheading you interchange or you change the numbering, then it is incorrect, my dear student, incorrect. Why? Because this is law. Companies Act 2013 is applicable. Try to understand my point. Earlier, why I was overlooking or marks could have been given to you, because it is not strictly required, but this Companies Act is strictly followed by the company, and so do you have to follow. So you cannot change in the headings or subheadings, and in the proper order you have to write. Is this clear? Like if non-current liability is there, then first item subhead will be long-term borrowings. Okay, then long-term provision will come. Now if any item is missing, you can miss that item, no need to show. But if you are interchanging, like you are showing current liabilities prior to non-current liability, though, then it is incorrect. I hope it is clear to you. So this is the format and explanation. Only one heading, that is share capital, I have not explained you. That I will explain you in the next lecture, because for it notes to account is to be prepared, and I will show it in the next lecture. Otherwise this lecture will become large. Okay, see, now you see illustration. 9 onwards and see in your book only what they are asking. They have given the items and asking heads and subheads, so you attempt those question and draft the balance sheet. Is this clear? Only the format. Okay, so this is the homework for you. That's it from today's class. Take care students, bye bye, and do your homework.